And welcome to this week's Sunday Catchup podcast. How are you? And how has your week been? I hope it's been a good one, and ours certainly has. So I am bringing this podcast to you from our hotel room in Amritsar. And what an interesting place Amritsar is, and steeped in Indian history, which we've been learning about today. Felt slightly awkward because it was to do with the British and what one general did in particular. It was quite heartbreaking, or very heartbreaking. But as our guide said, everything happens for a reason. Difficult though. But if you want to know more, then do check out my YouTube in a couple of weeks, because I'm telling the story on there. You can find that on the Soul Coach TV. So yeah, but absolutely fascinating. I'll tell you more about Amritsar in a minute. But let me back up. I'm going to back up to the beginning of the week. Well, I normally go backwards, but I'm going to back right up. So Monday, we were going to India on Tuesday. So Monday was one of those days where you just get stuff done, don't you? Packing and had my nails done and all things like that. And to be honest, I can't quite remember what else I got done, but I know it was a busy day. I think I had a meeting. Yes, we went up to London to meet someone, Travis, actually, from South Africa. He had flown in from South Africa, and we were meeting him in Earlsfield. And he flew in that morning at 5 a.m. and it was the only chance we had to go and see him. So yeah, Monday afternoon was busy, and we went to see him, and he's going to be doing some social media for us. So that's going to be really cool. To do with living a life of magic, which, as you know, is very dear to my heart. And there's certainly been a lot of magic this India trip, which I can't wait to share with you. So yeah, Monday was just really busy. I think that's just what I'm trying to say. And then Tuesday we were up really early, and we were collected at 6:15 by Pauline, our cab driver, and she drove us to the airport. And it was just a dream, really. The whole trip was incredible. So easy. It's only about 8 hours, I think, on the plane to India. Went with Virgin. They were super, as always. And yeah, really straightforward. Ajit, our driver, was here to meet us on the other end in Delhi. And it was so nice to see him. He drove the girls and I when we came over to India last year in April. And so it was really good to see him again. I honestly, from door to door, it was just a real easy time of it. And we got to India I think we came in about 12:30, and I think we were at our hotel by 1. So it was really, really easy. Does that make sense? 12:30, was it 11:30? I can't remember, but we were in bed by 2, so maybe we got to a hotel 2. I can't remember. It was about a couple of hours anyway, so that was fine. Doesn't matter about the times, doesn't matter. Move on, Carolina. So yeah, it was really good. And then hotel was really nice. We stayed normally I like to stay near the airport, but we went into the heart of Delhi this time and stayed there, and it was in Conant Square. Really great place, close to everything. And our first day, we were up at 7, so even though we only got about 5 hours sleep, we were up early and wanting to crack on with our day, and we had such a fun first day. We went to an area in Delhi, and we met up with a guy that we'd met before, and we looked at lots of his gifts and things for the shop. So we had a ball choosing beautiful things for the shop, and it's so very exciting. And so that took up most of the day. Have to say though, by the time we got back to the hotel, we were really tired. But again, that just went really smoothly, and and was fine. The funny thing was, though, I thought we were 5.5 hours ahead of the UK, but actually we're only 4.5 hours ahead. So it's really not that hard, is it? And then on Thursday, we went buying for Quest again, and we went into Old Delhi this time, and we spent a few hours choosing some singing bowls and playing singing bowls, and I got to buy some gongs as well, which is, I've always wanted to do that. And so I purchased myself a gong and purchased a couple of other gongs as well, and they just sounded amazing. And again, just talking about YouTube again at the minute, I've recorded what happened on that day around the singing bowls, and the guy chatted to us about them, which was, I found out something very interesting about singing bowls and the old bowls. So yeah, that's all coming out on YouTube as well. I think the whole of October, where I like to do different themes, is all about our India trip. So it's going to be, I can't wait to bring that to you. There's so much, it's so rich in everything in India. Like the food is so amazing, the people are so amazing, everyone's just been so lovely. They've really shown us a lot of love, and we've seen some incredible things, and we've only been here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is our 5th day. Well, we've had our 5th day, tomorrow will be the 6th day, but it's been awesome. So that was, where were we? That was Wednesday. Thursday we were singing bowl shopping, and it was Amelia's birthday, our eldest daughter's birthday, 25th of September. Can't believe it. She's 33. It's very scary. It makes me feel very old, but it was her birthday. So happy birthday, Amelia, for last Thursday. And it's funny because I made her laugh because I'd obviously handed over her presents and done a banner for her, some cakes, and the whole thing. And then we sent her some flowers, and I sent her a fruit basket, and I said, I thought you might like something healthy on your birthday. And she said, I really did, Mum, that was such good timing. And then the next day we sent her I'd hoped it'd come on her birthday, but it didn't. It came on the next day, some of her favourite sweets as well. So I spoiled Amelia, and we're all here to be spoiled, aren't we? So that was nice. So Friday we had a rest day. Because we'd had 2 action-packed days, we decided that we'd have a rest day. I say a rest, i.e. we didn't get in a car, but we caught up. Will cleared out his inbox and his emails and sorted out them. And that's such a good job, and it's a real good autumn job to do because it's all about clearing. And I did loads of admin and just caught up with loads of stuff, and it was just a really, really successful day. And then we walked to our favourite coffee shop in India, which is Starbucks. And I know you might laugh at that, but honestly, it's just kind of like a little bit of a safe space for us. It's very Western, and I am embracing the Indian culture. Will is as well, but just sometimes it's just nice to dip in, and it's going to be clean, what you're going to get, and it's just amazing. So Starbucks is kind of a bit of a highlight of this trip. And our driver was laughing at us the other day because he said, when we go to Varanasi, there are no Starbucks. I'm like, how are we going to survive? But I'm sure we will. So on our rest day, we walked to Starbucks. We managed to get through all the people that want us to either go to the market or get in their tuk-tuks or take us somewhere else that sells something else. So we managed to get past them, and we actually had a really nice time walking around Conant Square. I don't know if you've been or heard of it, but it's just an area and there's lots of shops, and it's really interesting. And when we went to Starbucks, a lovely time, we bumped into this lady. She's 78 years old. She's from America, and her name is Susan Lucas. And she had the most amazing energy, and she talked to us for about I don't know, it was about 20 minutes, I reckon. And she had so much chutzpah. And she came from, I think she came from Florida. And then she moved herself to Chiang Mai in Thailand. But she loves India. And so she's spending a lot of time here. So we met Susan Lucas, who was an incredible lady. And she was telling us what she takes to keep her energy going. And I think it was called curcumin. So Will and I are going to look up that and get some. I think it mainly involves turmeric. So sounds interesting, but I definitely want what she had, because how amazing. She travels all around, 78 years old. I mean, it's not that old, is it? But it's just seems old. I'd like to have her energy at her age. She was amazing. Anyway, hello Susan. I said I'd give you a shout out, and it was a real pleasure to meet you. And then she told us about this really amazing bakery that we'd never heard of called Wenger's. And so off we trekked, following the magic, and we found the bakery, and it was so good. And we bought her some biscuits and took them back to her, and she was so thrilled. And then as we were walking back, actually, we heard this voice. It was like something England. And we turned around, and there was this guy. His name's Musa. He's a travel agent here. And Catherine, a friend of mine, had recommended us to him. And if we needed anything, then to get in contact with him. And we'd met him because he exchanged some money with us the night before. And it was him. And it was just a magic, bump into him. And he was just calling me, and he'd been, running to catch up with us. And, so that was nice. That was funny in the middle of Delhi, just bumping into him. It was nice to meet him. Will and he had a nice photograph taken, so that was good. What else? I've written loads of notes. I'm just trying to understand my notes. Yeah, that was one of the funny things. I mentioned about getting past the people that wanted to get you to the market and the tuk-tuk drivers and everything. The really weird thing happens, and it happened the first morning that we got there, and then it happened again the second time and the third day. It's Will and I are walking along the street. We're just going out for a walk. That's all we want to do is walk around the block, get some fresh air. And because for some reason in India, all the windows you can't open, so there's no air. And I don't actually like that. I do like having a lot of air circulating. Anyway, what happens is all of a sudden you've got this shadow that's just kind of joined you, and if it's we speed up, they speed up, or if we slow down, they slow down, and then they say, oh, where are you from? And then they say, how are you? And then they go into their pitch. And the first morning that we went out on, before we went shopping on the Wednesday, this guy, Will, had worked out where a Starbucks was. And we were going to go there. We were going to venture to this Starbucks. And this guy, literally was just walking our direction. He said, oh, walking's very good for you. It's very healthy. And then we got to this road. It was full of monkeys, this road. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was we couldn't see them near our hotel, but just all of a sudden, 200 yards from our hotel, round the corner and down the road a bit, there was all these monkeys. Anyway, he said, where are you going? We're going to Starbucks. And we're going, right. And he goes, no. He said, it's not safe down there. You can't go down there. Called us a tuk-tuk, put us in the tuk-tuk and sent us off to a Starbucks in a different direction. Now, Will had done all his research. He'd planned it all out. He was proper doing his hunter-gatherer thing, and failed. He wasn't happy. Will was not happy. And it was really weird that he just kind of bundled us into this tuk-tuk. But anyway, all happens for us, and we were able to find it the next day, so that was good. But it was just funny, and they just come up to you, and they want to take you to a market, or they want to take you to a shop, or they just want to sort of take you around. So we got used to that. Oh yeah, and there was this other guy with a lanyard on, and he said he kept saying, I work for the, where was it, like the town hall or something, I can't remember what it was. I work for there. I'm not trying to sell you anything, or not try. And it's like, well, that's a lie right from the start. And then he starts talking about the market, and then wants to call us a tuk-tuk. And then someone else, honestly, this is what happens. Someone else, we were crossing the road. He said, oh, you can't cross there. You have to cross here, which was just next to us. And then proceeded to tell us that we needed to go to another market. I don't know how many markets are in Delhi. But anyway, they're just the funnies, because we're just used to it now. And we just say, oh, thank you very much. No, thank you. But that guy that seemed so friendly, getting us into the tuk-tuk, that was just hilarious. So that was Delhi. After Friday, we were off. So on Saturday, yesterday, we did a travel day, and we did this whole journey from Delhi to Amritsar. It took us 9 hours. It was 444 kilometres. And a long way, but actually it went so quick. Will fell asleep a few times. I fell asleep a few times. I read my book. We stopped at a coffee shop and used their facilities and had a nice coffee, and we did a stretch and everything else, about 4 hours in. And then we stopped again and had a chai, and I bought some oud perfume, actually. I love oud, and it smelled so nice. Never seen it before in India, but treated myself to some of that. And then we were there. It really, really didn't take long. I read my book and chatted and looked out the window and just kind of go into a bit of a mindfulness space. It was nice, bit of meditation. So we got here to Amritsar. Busy place, but the reason we've come to Amritsar is because I want to see the Golden Temple. So we came last night. We got a tuk-tuk to go to the Golden Temple, but we never got to see the Golden Temple because we didn't know where we were going. So we just got the tuk-tuk man to wait there, and we just thought we could see it, and we couldn't. So we got back in the tuk-tuk and came back to the hotel because A, we were tired, B, we didn't have a clue what was going on, and C, we had a tour guide this morning. So we went on our tour this morning, which was really interesting, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But we still haven't seen the Golden Temple. But tonight is the night, and we are going to go out in about 10 minutes to see the Golden Temple, and I'm so looking forward to it. And there's a night ceremony as well, so we're going to be seeing that. And I'm super excited about that. And so then we got back to our hotel, made a cup of tea and went to sleep, and got up this morning, and we went on a tour starting supposedly at 8:30. 8:35, I said to Will, I have not locked our safe in the hotel room. The tour guide hadn't come. Will was like, oh my God, have you not? He might not have said it like that. I was not saying like that to myself. Anyway, we decided that Will I Can would be the best person to go back to the hotel. So we grabbed a tuk-tuk to go back. 10-15 minutes later, the tour guide still hasn't come. I'm messaging him thinking we've paid for this tour, blah, 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 blah. And then Will still hasn't come back. The tour guide hasn't come back, but he rang me to say he was coming, and then my phone just died. It got too hot, I think, and I was starting to have a bit of a breathing panic attack. I didn't have a panic attack, but I did my Ho'oponopono, which calmed me right down. And then everything just changed because Will turned up, the tour guide came, and at 9 o'clock, all was fine and we could get on our way. And had the tour guide turned up on time, he would have been waiting for us and had, had there not been an issue, then we would have been waiting for him, and so on. So it all turned out very, very well, and we were able to enjoy our tour this morning in bits. No, we did enjoy it. We went to the garden where there was a terrible massacre, and as I say, I'm going to be talking about that in my YouTube video, but that was quite important in India's history. Terrible though, absolutely awful what one man can do, just awful. And so we went to the garden there. We then went to an ashram, which I really enjoyed, and did a meditation there and had a look round. I don't think Will was too keen. He told me later. I can't remember the words that he used. What did he say it reminded him of? Can't remember. I can't remember what it was. I think it reminded him of something like toilets or something. He wasn't happy there. I said I could stay there actually, because it was so peaceful in the middle of chaos. It was so nice. I was like, I think I could live here for a year. But it would have been a challenge. But it was just super interesting. I really enjoyed it. I took lots of videos. So again, you'll be able to see all of that on YouTube. So it's really interesting. And so we went there and we went all around. But as I said, we got to glimpse at where the Golden Temple was, but we haven't seen it yet, but we're going to be seeing it tonight. So we're going to be meeting him and go round the Golden Temple. So then what did we do? Then we found another coffee shop. That was right. We found another coffee shop. And there were some people in there. This cool guy, he had flares on. He was only a little guy, and he just looks so cool. Anyway, he turns out to be a photographer, and he was taking photos of these two gentlemen in there, and then they started talking to us, and then we were all having our photographs taken with everyone else, and he was telling us how this was a famous broadcaster and everything else, but he was banned from broadcasting and all sorts of things. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then we went to the Partition Museum, and we came out of there. It's a blooming crazy thing to have done. I don't know, crazy to literally partition India into Pakistan and India and Muslims to go into one part and Hindus go into another. It was horrific. If you haven't read anything about it, well, it's interesting, but it's awful. And there was video footage, and honestly, people thought it was a good idea. It was a terrible idea, terrible. And it doesn't feel like that long ago that happened, but I mean, obviously people now have moved on and settled and have set up their lives and homes and everything, and I'm so glad that we are not living in that time, and that we are living at a time. It's nice to see in India the inclusion and the unity, and how everybody is living amongst each other, because the atrocities were terrible. But I suppose it's all part of history, it's all part of our learning, it's all part of growing, and we move on. But come on, honestly, it's just awful. We left there, came back, and we just chilled out this afternoon. And as I say, recorded this podcast now, and now we're going to go to the Golden Temple and see that, which will be much more uplifting, I have to say. So yeah, that's it really. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow we're going to somewhere called Chandigarh, and that's just it's kind of like we're staying because we're getting a train to Shimla on Tuesday. So that will be amazing. I've always wanted to go to Shimla, and it will be lovely to see it, and can't wait to go there. So I can't wait to bring you next week's Sunday Catchup podcast and tell you about our adventures, and it will be a whole week we will have been there. And I will start with the Golden Temple and let you know what that experience was like, and I bet it is awesome, and I can't wait to share that with you. It's been a really magical week. It's just been flowing, and it's just been one thing's led to another, and we've spoken to someone that's told us something else, and this hasn't happened, and then this has happened, and it's all just really flowed, and it's been really magical, and it's been really soulful, and it's been incredible. We've met some amazing people. Ajit took us to his house. We met his wife, his children. We all went round the village, and we met some like travellers that travel around selling their wares, and that was a really awesome experience. It really has been rather awesome. So I can't wait to share with you more of it next week, and I hope you've had a good week. And let's just close with a meditation. So just closing your eyes just for a moment if you can, and if not, keep them open. Just take a deep breath in and breathing out. Just coming into this sacred moment. Knowing everything is available for you right now. Everything is happening for you. Just breathing in the realization of that. Just trusting. And let's just all be grateful for how we can learn from our past. Learn from the challenges. Be grateful for that. And be grateful for the tribe, for our people who are around us that we love and cherish. And let's be grateful for our homes, keeping us safe. And warm and dry. Feeling huge gratitude to you, lots of love, and see you next week. Take care, bye-bye. That's my week wrapped up. What stood out, what shifted, and what I'm taking forward. Now it's over to you. What moments shaped your week? What inspired you? Let's keep the conversation going. Come and connect with me on @thesoulcoach or YouTube, and let me know your thoughts. If this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it, tag me, or send it to someone who might enjoy it too. See you next week for another reflection. But until then, take care, stay present, and keep journeying within.